Hello everyone, this is Medhavi Nema, and today we are going to talk about parajumbles. And yes, parajumbles have lately been quite common in various management and other entrance examinations. So yes, this is an important topic and we will see how we have to do this. So the first question is that what are parajumbles? Okay, so parajumbles are nothing but jumbled sentences. Like we have studied syntax in the school, right? When we are given jumbled words and we have to make them together in such a sequence that they make a meaningful sentence. So the only difference is that we will be given jumbled up sentences and we have to we have to bring them in such an order that they make a meaningful paragraph. Okay, so today we are going to start with the most basic one. And so yeah, there are a few tricks and tips that I personally like to follow, and I will be sharing those with all of you. So there are various approaches towards solving the parajumbles, and something that I like to do is that first I like to find the opening and the closing sentences, like the introductory and the concluding one. These are actually easy to find, so yes, they help a lot. So the first thing that I would want to share with you is about transition verbs, transition words. Okay, so the transition words are like likewise, on the other hand, similarly, at the same time, however, nevertheless, moreover, in conclusion, simultaneously. All these words are called transition words. So if I say that nevertheless, he is a good person, it is making no sense because I have not given you any context. So basically, when we start a paragraph as such, we have to give some context and then we can talk further about it. These kind of words will not start a paragraph as such. Okay, so first thing is that. Now the second thing about the articles. Okay, if you see the articles very carefully, so the first sentence will have a, most probably will be an indefinite. Okay, so we don't know. Say suppose I will say I saw a man that day, and then I'll continue about that man. Okay, I saw that man that day. So who is that over here? For that I will have to give some context, and as I said, we cannot begin a paragraph without giving a context. So using the words like this, that, there, or say pronouns like he, she, it, they, then these kind of words will not be used in the first sentence. Okay, then something that you will look for in the concluding sentence would be something that ends the argument. Okay, the very important thing when you look in the concluding sentence is that the argument should end over there. It should not go on and on. Okay, because if you see, when you write a paragraph, you first introduce the paragraph, introduce what you're talking about, you talk about it, and then you conclude it. So the last sentence should have the conclusion. That means the arguments should rest over there. Okay, so this is the first thing that you are going to look at. The second thing, transition words. Transition words like in conclusion, therefore, hence, thus. These are a kind of transition words that you might find in the last or the concluding sentence. Okay, so these are some things that I like to do. And after finding the introductory and the concluding sentence, I like to look at the chronology of events or find logical connectives. Logical connectives basically are like when I can say for sure that one sentence will come only after the other one. So it is called a logical connective. So I like to try to find a logical connective or try to deduce a process or chronology that will help me number the other sentences so that I can know that, okay, this sentence will come after that and then after that. So it will help me to find a final answer with which I can mark the options. Okay, but then again, as I said earlier, use of options is also very important. And when you solve parajumbles, you don't want to spend a lot of time, so it is obviously better to use the options while trying to find the answer. But yes, the method that I have taught you. It is better when you have questions wherein you don't have options. Okay, there are questions when you don't have options. You have to write in the space provided. You will have to. It will look like a calculator, and you will have to write the number wise the sentences. Okay, in IPMAT also there are questions like that. So this method comes in handy over there. So now, without wasting any time, let's go and solve the first question. So the first question, we have 3 sentences and I will go one by one. So the first sentence says, on Monday, the Secretary of State is due to hold a day of meetings with high-level political, military and business figures to further a strategic dialogue aimed at further expansion of US trade in India. The second sentence says, US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton arrived in India on Sunday for strategic talks aimed at bolstering bilateral ties and securing firmer support for the war in Afghanistan. The third sentence says, Clinton arrived by plane in Delhi before noon, according to a reporter traveling with her, ahead of expected talks with Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and President Pratibha Patil in the evening. If you look at the set of sentences very carefully, the first set of keywords is Monday and Sunday. In the first sentence, we have Monday, and in the second sentence we have Sunday. Okay, so now if you think very logically, or if you read some kind of an article in the newspaper, or if you listen to the news on the news channels, the first thing that the reporter or journalist will say that first the post that the US Secretary of State, then he'll tell the name Hillary Clinton is coming to India. Okay, then maybe he'll talk about then he can refer to that person with only the last name, but in the beginning he or she has to introduce the person in general. Okay, so by this logic I can say that the sentence B will come before C. Okay, first I will introduce who is Hillary Clinton, and then I can refer to the person as only through the last name. Okay, so hence we can say that the whatever our answer will be, we'll have BC. Okay, then if we look at the A option, it is saying that on Monday the Secretary of State is due to hold a day of meetings with high level political and so on. So it is being said that on Monday it is due. That means Monday is not here. Like, I'm talking about, maybe I'm talking on the Sunday evening, and then I'm saying that, you know, the person is said is due to hold a day of meetings tomorrow. So I am talking in the futuristic sense. So by this logic, we can say that A will come after B and C. Here, although if you could have gone by the options, it was very easy to say that the option number 3 and 4 will not be the right answers, because in the first logic I said that B will come before C. Okay, now the only thing was about A, where A will come, and in my opinion the logic I gave afterwards says that the option A should come after B and C. If this logic is not clear, please pause the video, read the question once again, try to deduce what the author is actually trying to say, what the author is trying to convey using this passage, and then you'll get to know what logic I'm giving. Okay, so let's go on to the next question. The next question says, here we have 4 sentences, and yeah, so here we go. The situations in which violence occurs and the nature of that violence tends to be clearly defined, at least in theory, as in the proverbial Irishman's question, is this a private fight or can anyone join in? Okay. The second one, so the actual risk to outsiders, though no doubt higher than our societies, is calculable. Here we have the transition verbs, word so. Please focus on that. Then third, probably the only uncontrolled applications of force are those of social superiors to social inferiors, and even here there are probably some rules. The D, however, binding the obligation to kill members of feuding families engaged in mutual massacre will be genuinely upheld if by some mischance a bystander or outsider is killed. Okay, So here we have the transition word however. So by the first instinct, I can say that B and D are not going to be the first sentences in my answer. So we can eliminate option number 1 and option number 4. Now I would really want you to pause the video, maybe read the question once again, and try to say or try to guess what the answer will be, either option number 2 or option number 3. So here we can see that the word outsider is being used twice. Okay, so I will see the D option, which says that there is an obligation to kill people, but it's most likely that an outsider would be killed. Okay, and then in option number B it says that the actual risk is to the outsiders. Okay, so I would say that option number D should come before option number B. Okay, so if we go according to this logic, only one option is there that satisfies all our assumptions and logics, which is option number 2, which says that we have A, C, D and B. So yes, the correct answer to this question is option number 2. I hope you get the logic. If not, please try and review the questions again, and I will definitely be putting up an assignment in the Telegram group. You must check that. Try to solve the questions again. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask over there. We will try our level best to help you. It's my humble request, please try and clear your concepts for parajumbles. It is great if we do it by options, but you should also know what is the logic behind the right answer. At times you will get the options, at times you will not. So it's better if we prepare for the worst, and this is the time when you can actually make concepts. So please watch the video again. If you have any confusions, any doubts, feel free to reach out to us, and we will put in our best efforts to make you understand the concepts well. In the end, I would just like to say that a little progress each day adds up to big results, and keep practicing, keep trying your level best, keep giving your 100%, and you will see when you will achieve big results. So thank you everyone, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.